Hello, everyone. Welcome to my live where I'm going to be running through today, getting back on track after the holidays. So, we're well back now into the January period where a lot of people are looking to get fit for the new year. Some people haven't got back into fitness just yet. So, it's not too late. I know it's the 14th of January. But this live today is all going to be getting back on track after the holidays. And we want to make sure that we haven't got no guilt or no burnout. So just to set an agenda for today, I'm going to do a little bit about myself in terms of a welcome. Then going to talk a little bit about normalizing the post-holiday slump. I know Christmas seems like a distant memory away now, but it's really important that we build confidence and build success after restarting after a holiday break. We're then going to move into resetting the mindset, then moving into a simple fitness restart plan, then into a common mistakes to avoid, and then just around 5:30, we're going to finish up. What I'm going to do after this live today is actually transition straight into a live bodyweight workout. So if you guys want to stay on and join, I'm going to transition from doing this live and then moving into a full bodyweight workout. So in terms of just setting a introduction for today. So if you guys are feeling sluggish, unmotivated after the holidays, then look, completely understand. It's a pretty rough time at the moment in the UK. It's dark, it's cold, it's wet, it's icy. So look, completely understand. But what I want you guys to get out of this live today is about building confidence and not going from 0 to 100. The most important thing is to set small steps and small goals. And that's what's going to build you up for success. So, in terms of moving on to the next topic, it's normal to feel demotivated after a holiday, especially after Christmas. We go from eating chocolate on the sofa, we go from eating Christmas pudding to then getting back into the new year. And it's an extremely busy time, not just for to get back into your fitness goals, but also to go back to work and to normalize those things. So, just to reassure everyone that's watching this that hasn't restarted back on their fitness journey, is weight fluctuations are normal, energy dips are common. One holiday or one break, like over the Christmas period, does not erase all of the progress that you've made prior to the Christmas holidays. So you really need to make sure that you're not punishing yourself, that you're not guilt tripping yourself over this period. Even for me, it's been extremely busy over the first 2 weeks. I haven't fully got back into my fitness routine. I don't need to punish myself. I don't need to wait until Monday. After this live today, 5:30, I'm going to switch and then do a live bodyweight workout with you guys. So sometimes you've just got to emphasize doing the best you can right now, and you'll build momentum over being perfect. And that is the main aspect of what I wanted to discuss. Is this is normal. This is a normal period. It's normal to feel like this. All you need to do is you just need to build momentum and build confidence. So next, I wanted to move on to resetting the mindset. And this is really crucial if you want to get back on track after the Christmas holidays, is to reset your mindset. Getting in shape and getting fit again, or getting back to the levels that you was previously prior to your holidays. It's not a physical thing, it's more of a mental challenge, because you think to yourself, I haven't exercised probably now in 2 to 3 weeks properly. Look, my progress has gone. I'm starting from zero again. You're not. It's more of a mental challenge when it comes to getting fit again. And if you can start building the momentum with some of the tips that I'm going to share with you today, really, really important to build that momentum. So, in terms of resetting the mindset, you need to think to yourself, these small steps are going to lead to big results. So, just for example, tonight, after I do this live in 25 minutes, I'm going to do a bodyweight workout live. The exact workout that I do if I can't go to the gym. I've been extremely busy recently. Anyone that's joining, I haven't managed to get back into my full routine, and it's already been 2 weeks into the new year. If I count the Christmas holidays that I've had, it's probably coming up to 3 weeks since I've had a solid momentum in the gym. So it just shows that even for myself, I'm human. I don't punish myself. All I can do is just do what I can do today. And that's why I'm doing this bodyweight routine in 25 minutes. But anyway, resetting the mindset is around building momentum, around thinking like I'm someone who moves my body. You don't need to be going to the gym 6 days a week. All you need to be doing is focusing on the small steps that lead to big results. 10,000 steps a day. If I can't go to the gym, I'm going to do a bodyweight routine at home. It doesn't even have to be that long. It can even be 10, 20 minutes. It doesn't have to be that long. And you'll see after the session today, I'm going to be doing a bodyweight session, which is going to be probably take me 20 to 25 minutes, 3 sets. It's not groundbreaking, but it keeps me in check, and also as well, it keeps the momentum going. So, in terms of resetting this mindset, you need to take it back away from I need to go to the gym 4, 5, 6 days a week, and if I don't go to the gym once or twice, or if I don't exercise, then that's the whole week written off. What I want you to do is reset the mindset and think about the minimum commitments that you can make to building your confidence back up and building this momentum. So 10 to 20 minute workouts, nice and simple. You can either go into the gym and do them. If you can't go to the gym, I know at the moment, January, it's extremely busy inside of the gym. It's crazy. So even if you can do a workout from home, then that is absolutely fine. I'm going to show you that in 20 minutes. Aim to do 2 to 3 workouts a week. This is a lot more manageable because you'll give your body a rest in between each of the days that you work out. And if you skip a workout, let's say, for example, look, I can't do maybe 3 workouts this week, I only can do 2. At least then you're building confidence. You're not feeling guilty that I've committed to 5. I've only done 1 or 2. That's not good enough. I have to restart again. Think about building confidence and resetting your mindset. And you need to reframe success. So we're human, we're not robots. When we come off a busy period like Christmas, you need to start thinking about just showing up is a win. And even if it's for a quick 10, 15-minute workout, that's not a problem. That is not a problem because at the end of the day, consistency beats intensity. So I really want you guys to think about, who are watching this live, is to think about one realistic goal that you want to have for this week. And if we're talking about exercising, think about going to the gym once, twice, or 3 days this week. Right. So next, I wanted to move into a simple fitness restart plan. So this is where I want you to think about this over 3 simple pillars. So movement, nutrition, and recovery. So with movement, I want you to start with walking. So as a bare minimum, I've said this over the last few lives that I've done since the start of the year, that you should be looking to do 10,000 steps a day easily. And you can break that up in the mornings, walk on your lunch break, and then when you're on the phone in the evenings, after you've had your dinner, you can go out for a little walk. If you break it up throughout the day, you'll be able to easily hit 10,000 steps. Think about mobility and stretching. I think, again, this is something that gets very much overlooked. But if you want to make sure that you've got the longevity when it comes to exercising and working out, you need to make sure that you're staying mobile and you're performing stretches. So this could be, before or after your workouts. Really, really important to stay mobile and to make sure you perform light stretching. Next thing is around movement, is make sure that you're not jumping straight back into your max intensity right away. Give yourself a little bit of a ramp up period. If you was going to the gym 3 days a week before Christmas, then start with once, twice, and then 3 times a week, and build that up over a consistent period, maybe even over the next 6 to 8 weeks. It gives your body time to adjust. We don't want to get injured. We really want to make sure that we're keeping ourselves warm, keeping ourselves, how do I explain it, in a way that we're keeping ourselves, that we're not going to get injured. We don't want to go from 0 to 100 and then suddenly then we get injured and then we're out for a few months. So really important to not jump into your max intensity. Next is around nutrition. So what I really want you guys to focus on is, instead of saying, I'm not going to have any sweets or chocolate, think about your protein intake. Think about, I'm going to prioritize a good source of protein with each of my meals. Nice and simple. It's a nice behavior goal to work towards. Also aim for at least 2 to 3 liters of water every day. Being hydrated is super important when it comes to your general health, when it comes to performance. If you're not hydrated, then that is going to affect your performance when you're exercising. You're going to start to feel hungry. And just being hydrated in yourself is just, throughout, just having a base throughout your day to day is just going to be so much better. And it's a lot of people overlook being hydrated. So make sure you get a good source of protein. Make sure that you're hydrated. So aiming for 2 to 3 liters of water every day. And remember to give yourself a bit of balance. So 80% of the week, you should be eating healthy, and 20% of the week, you should be looking to have a little bit of a snack. But remember 80-20 rule in terms of your nutrition. And then lastly, in terms of the 3 pillars, is around sleep, stretching, and stress reduction. So sleep is something that, again, a lot of people overlook. Is really, really important if you're doing all of these workouts, that you're getting enough sleep in between each of your sessions. If you are not sleeping and getting the rest and recovery, then you won't see the results that you want. And this then leads back to getting injured, right? You need to make sure that you're prioritizing at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. I know it's not perfect, things come up, but for the majority of nights, you just need to get into bed earlier and make sure that you're prioritizing your rest and recovery. Next is stretching. Again, I've touched upon this earlier on, but really important to stay mobile, do a lot of stretching. It's going to give you the longevity. And we want to think about being fit, not just for January, but we want to be consistent over the whole of 2026, because exercise is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And that's what's really, really important when it comes to recovery and making sure that we can stay in terms of the longevity with exercise. And lastly is stress reduction. So this will link back to getting enough sleep. You need to make sure that getting into bed early enough, prioritizing rest and recovery in terms of hydration, nutrition, make sure that you're having a rest day in between each of your workouts. And like I said, it's not perfect. We're going back into work, into the working world 5 days a week. It is very, very stressful. So we just need to manage and coordinate that stress in terms of our personal and our professional life. So just in terms of the simple fitness restart plan before I move on, is all around movement, nutrition, and recovery. In terms of movement, around walking 10,000 steps a day, doing light stretching, mobility, avoiding jumping straight back into your max intensity. So building that up over a 6 week period. Nutrition, focus on protein, hydrate protein, so making sure that you're getting a good source of protein within each of your meals, making sure that you're hydrated, to get in at least 2 to 3 liters of water every day, and then following the 80-20 rule in terms of your nutrition. And then lastly, of the pillars, really important to make sure that you're getting enough recovery. So sleep around 6 to 8 hours every night, or 7 to 8 hours. You're performing light stretching. This could be before or after your workouts or before you go to bed. And then managing your stress. So we've got around 14 minutes left, and I'm going to go into a live bodyweight workout. So the next thing that I wanted to move on to is the most common mistakes to avoid. Because when we're getting back on track after the holidays, we can sometimes feel guilty. We can sometimes feel like, I just really want to get back to where I was prior to the holidays. But the common mistakes to avoid is doing too much too fast. If you are doing too much too fast, then you're going to end up, number one, burning out. You're going to get to a point of like 2 to 3 weeks in, you're doing workouts pretty much every day. Your body can't take it. I'm shattered. You're going to end up getting injured. And then you're going to end up saying to yourself, do you know what? I can't sustain this. And then you're going to drop off. So it's super important that you don't do too much too fast. You build it up slowly, and not to cut your calories too aggressively. Again, I think this is where a lot of people, they come from Christmas, they come from a holiday where they've been relaxing or enjoying themselves, and they want to get back to where they was previously. And again, if you're cutting calories too aggressively and it's not sustainable, it's just going to get to a point where you're going to follow this diet or this eating plan for around a week to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then you can't sustain it. You're going to drop off, and then you're going to binge. Really important to follow the 80-20 rule with your nutrition. It's all about balance. Remember, getting fit and exercise is all around balance. If you can get the balance right, then it doesn't feel like a punishment, and it shouldn't feel like a punishment. You should be saying to yourself, 80% of the week, I'm going to be eating well. I'm going to be prioritizing good nutrition. And then the other 20%, I'm going to be having a little bit of some sweets and chocolate and some of that other good stuff. So in terms of common mistakes to avoid, what I've run through so far is doing too much too fast, cutting calories too aggressively. And then next one is, and I've just touched upon this, is comparing yourself to what you was like prior to your holidays. And again, we are all human beings. We all go on holiday. We all need some downtime. There is no need to compare yourself to what you was like before the Christmas holidays. All you can think about is, what can I do today in terms of getting back on track? And like I've touched upon earlier on in the live, it's mainly all around it's more of a mental challenge more than a physical challenge to get you back to those levels, right? If we just start acting and like, I'm going to do it in 10 minutes, I've been extremely busy today, but I'm going to still do a workout. It's a very easy excuse to say I'm not going to do one, but I'm going to do a workout because I'm trying to build that momentum. And it's really, really important to not compare yourself, but more importantly, just think about, what can I do today? And those baby steps will lead to the bigger results. And the last common mistake to avoid is waiting for motivation instead of action. So motivation is great, and a lot of people will be motivated at the start of this year in terms of getting fit for 2026. But if you are relying on motivation alone to keep you fit or to keep you motivated and to keep you on track, then to be completely honest with you, motivation will drop. And the only thing that is going to keep you going is discipline. So if you don't rely or wait on motivation instead of action, think about motivation is a great source of me to get started, but discipline is what is going to keep me going. So super, super important. Some other things that I just wanted to touch upon in terms of getting back on track after the holidays is this is a completely normal thing. And everyone that is going to get fit in 2026 or get back into shape or get back to the levels that they were before Christmas, or if you're starting new, it's just understanding that all I can do is control what I can do today, and then everything else will take care of itself. So just to recap in terms of what I've run through is I've normalized the post-holiday slump. So just to reassure everyone that's on here is that look, weight fluctuations are normal, energy dips are common, especially, well, at the moment it's the 14th of January. By week 3, research shows that there will be a motivational dip. So look, that is completely normal. All you need to make sure that you're doing is just getting back on track as fast as possible. One holiday or the Christmas break does not erase progress, right? You need to think to yourself, what can I do? I can't change what I done yesterday or the day before or last week. All I can do is think about what can I do today to change where I'm at. So really important not to punish yourself, not to wait until Monday, not to wait until next week. Really important to start today. And that is what I'm going to do in 8 minutes time. I'm going to do a live body weight workout where I'm going to exactly show you guys what I do when I can't go to the gym. And this workout is something that I've been doing quite regularly over the last week or two, just because of timings and how busy I've been. And that is something that you guys should implement. Something that you can do at home, even if it's for 10 to 15 minutes. It's not groundbreaking, but it's all about consistency. Consistency beats intensity. And if you are consistent and you show up throughout the week, then I promise you the results will come. That is what is super, super important. Next is around resetting the mindset. So I've run through not punishing yourself, thinking about positive thoughts around, like, I'm someone who moves my body, thinking about encouraging minimum commitments when it comes to fitness. So 10 to 20 minutes if you're getting straight back into it, 2 to 3 workouts a week, and you're reframing success. So in terms of saying to yourself, oh, I couldn't go to the gym like 4 days this week or 5 days for an hour each session, I was able to show up, be consistent, get a 10 to 15, 20-minute workout in. I've done a bodyweight routine at home. Showing up equals success. So super, super important when it comes to that. Next, I run through the simple fitness restart plan. So that's when I broke the plan down into 3 simple pillars. So movement, nutrition, and recovery. So movement is starting with walking, light stretching, mobility. You want to avoid jumping back into max intensity. In terms of nutrition, focus on a good source of protein for each meal, making sure that you're getting 2 to 3 liters of water every day. Follow the 80-20 rule of your nutrition. So 80% of the week, you're going to be eating well. And for 20% of the week, you're going to be having a little treat. And then lastly, in terms of the fitness restart plan, is all around recovery. So making sure that you're getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, making sure that you're stretching. That's going to give you the longevity in terms of staying fit or getting back into fitness, not just for January, but it's going to give you that longevity over the whole of 2026. And making sure that you're managing your stress. I know we're going back to work. I know it's a busy period. We just need to coordinate and manage those different areas. And I think sleep is very much overlooked. If we get enough sleep, then everything else falls into place. When we are sleep deprived, everything falls down. So really, really important to make sure that you manage your stress reduction. And then lastly, I just moved into the common mistakes to avoid. So making sure that you're not doing too much too fast. Really important to make sure that you are building confidence, that you are doing something that is sustainable. If you do something that is sustainable, then that is what is going to give you the confidence and give you the longevity. Make sure that you're not cutting calories too aggressively, comparing yourself to the pre holiday version, and waiting for motivation instead of action. Really important that motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. So, we're a few minutes early just before the end. If you guys have got any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them. What we're going to do in a minute or two is literally just move into a live workout. And this is just going to be a simple body weight routine that I do at home. So, again, I'm going to move into the other room and going to just do a workout on the landing. But if you guys have got any questions, feel free to put them in the comments or DM me afterwards. I'll be more than happy to help you. What we're going to do now is I'm going to move into the other room and we're going to be doing a workout. So let's get going. Okay. What we're going to do first. So what we're going to do first is do pull-ups to begin with. So I'm going to do around 15 pull-ups, and then I'm going to do a set of squats, a set of press-ups. I'm then going to do some knee raises, and then I'm going to finish off with some dips. Then I'm going to have around 3 minutes rest in between, and then I'm going to do 3 circuits of that. So let's get going. We just really want to make sure here that it's nice and controlled. Just 15 reps. So that's a little bit more than 15. What we're going to move into next is squats. So feet shoulder width apart, nice and controlled. So just going to bang out 20. Okay, nice. So next, moving into press ups. So going to look to do here probably 40 press ups. See how I get on. Really important. Keep your back nice and straight. Keep your core engaged. Bring your chest all the way down to the floor. Nice. Next, we'll move into some knee raises on the pull-up bar. Then we'll finish off with some dips. And then that will be the first session done, first set done. That lastly, we'll finish off with some dips. I look to do 15 dips, 15, 20 dips, nice and controlled. Nice. That is the first set done. So just take a few minutes rest. So really important here when you're doing your bodyweight routine, just really make sure that you're getting enough rest in between each of your sets. So I'm going to take 3 to 4 minutes rest. Nice and controlled breathing. And this is what it's all about when you're talking about restarting after the holidays. Doing a bodyweight routine isn't perfect, but at least it keeps you honest. It gives you the momentum that you need. So, really important to make sure that you are just building consistency. If you can't go to the gym, simple things like doing a bodyweight routine from home is really, really simple but effective. So, coming up to a minute and a half, rest, get back into it. And again, if you guys have got any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. Then let me know. But what I like to do is as well, is I like to make sure that I change the grip on the pull-ups. Usually I would do incline, decline on different surfaces. But what I'm going to do here is just keep it nice and simple with doing the press-ups from the floor. I've got the dips, knee raises, and obviously the squats. So in about a minute, start second set. And again, like I like to reiterate, this isn't perfect conditions, but most important thing is we're building momentum. This will probably take me 15, 20 minutes, but at least it's keeping us honest. And let me know, guys, if there's any videos, any topics that you guys want me to cover, then always on hand here to make sure that I'm helping and supporting. Right. The next, we're going to move into it. So try and aim for 15 again, nice and controlled. Okay. And now moving into squats, nice and controlled. Aim for 20. Keep the back nice and straight. Really drive through the heels. That's the pull-ups and the squats done. Now moving into press-ups. Press-ups done. Got the knee raises on the pull-up bar. And then we've got the dips. And that'll finish set 2. The leg raises done. Now into dips. Really important when you're doing dips, keep it nice and controlled. I'm going to lean slightly forwards, put a little bit more emphasis on my chest. Aim for here 15, 20 reps. Then again into a 3-minute rest. Nice. Okay guys, 3-minute rest. And then moving into the last set. So there we go. Gonna quickly grab some water. As guys, this is not perfect, but at least most important thing is staying consistent, building momentum. This keeps me honest. This is the type of workouts that I've been doing over the last few weeks since I've been back off holiday. Let me know if you guys have got any questions. Put them in the comments. Feel free to DM me afterwards. Tomorrow, I'm going to do another live. If you guys are interested in joining that, I'll schedule it. You guys can take a look. It'll be all to do with being successful, setting yourselves up for January and beyond. So, in about a minute and a half, just going to finish up, get up, 15 pull-ups again. Just going to hit up a different grip, just because hitting up a different grip will hit a different angle up of the back. Do some squats, press-ups, knee raises, and then lastly, finish up with some dips. If you guys are still watching from 5, really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys find the videos helpful. It's my pleasure sharing tips and tricks in relation to fitness, making sure that you guys are setting yourself up for success for this year. So, again, any questions, comments, feedback, any topics that you guys want me to cover, more than happy to help. But, okay, here we go. "15 pull-ups, give myself 20 seconds, then I'll move into the squats. Again, simple but effective. Do it. Nice. Another 20 seconds. Do the press-ups, and then close up the last few exercises. You might not think that these bodyweight routines get you as far as these gym workouts, But trust me, if you're consistent, you don't need the gym the majority of the time, because these bodyweight routines, they keep you honest. And the foundations before I actually started going to the gym was all around bodyweight routines. So these are like the staple of solid results. Okay, get it done. Moving into the press ups. Two more exercises to go. Another 20 seconds. Then moving to the knee raises, the leg raises on the pull-up bar, and then finish up with the dips. One more exercise and we're done. Dips. And then we're going to close it up. Always really important to make your last set your best set. So if you need to, give yourself a little bit more of a break, and then make sure you execute the last exercise just as if it's your first exercise. So 15, and then we're done. And there we are, guys. There is a live bodyweight routine completed. Hope you guys found that helpful. I'll see you guys tomorrow for my next live. Have a good evening, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.